Hello friends, and welcome to another video. If you're new here, my name is Scar. I'm a full-time art student, part-time illustrator, and full-time barista. I usually do art vlogs, but this video is going to be a little bit more specific. I figure there are a lot of people who could benefit from seeing some of the working process I have, and I think it's important to share what I've learned over the years. Part of the work that I do as an illustrator revolves around designing sticker sheets, and I recently posted some work in progress shots on Threads, and someone actually commented that they wanted to learn how to make sticker sheets too. So it kind of got me thinking. I thought, why not make a video on my whole process? I figure even if I may not have the most professional setup or use the more expensive programs, it might still be helpful information for people who want to learn how to start or find some affordable options. I do want to preface this with the fact that any product or program that I mention in this video is not sponsored, and I'm not being paid to promote them. They are just the tools that I choose to use after testing different kinds and finding what worked for me. So we're going to start with the drawing process. I usually start my sketches digitally, but feel free to use whatever you feel more comfortable with. You can always do a traditional sketch and then take a photo or scan it and finalize it digitally if that's easier, but I pretty much do the entire drawing process within an app called Procreate. This is an app that requires a drawing monitor of some kind, whether it's an iPad or an iPhone, but as far as I know, you can only use this on Apple products at this time, which is unfortunate. I wish they would come out with a Windows version or something for non-Apple users, but at this time, I believe it is only available on Apple products. The one that I use is the standard iPad app, and that one cost me a one-time payment of $12.99, and that's in US currency, whereas the phone app is $5.99. I firmly believe that the price is worth it if you're looking into getting it, especially with the features that you get. I've been using it for years now, and it comes with a lot of different brush sets, and it's really easy to download user-made brush sets. There's a lot of really cool ones out there, and all of the settings are comparable to more expensive drawing programs like Photoshop, and while it is a little bit more limited compared to Photoshop and other Adobe products, it still gives you a really good base to work with, and you can still create really comparably good artwork with it. Regardless if you're using Procreate or a different drawing program, most of what I talk about formatting wise in this video will relatively be the same or similar. If you have any questions after this video though, I can try and answer them to the best of my ability. We're going to start with the canvas specs. I am currently offering sticker sheets as a physical reward for Patreon, so I do have a specific setup that I work with each month. Your sticker sheets obviously do not need to follow these specs perfectly, but for this example we're going to be working on my March rewards, and that calls for a 5x5 canvas. And from here you want to make sure that the DPI is set higher rather than lower. DPI stands for dots per inch, and it measures how many dots are within one line of 1 inch of your canvas. So if you have it set too low, it will cause your image to look pixelated and blurry, and you lose out on a lot of detail. This will affect your image quality, and that can affect the print quality as well when you produce your stickers. I usually stick to a 600 range when working on larger prints, but 300 is pretty standard and considered a good amount of detail when working on smaller scales, but I would not recommend going lower than 300 or you start to really lose out on that visual quality. And a side note, if you have a drawing program that allows you to work in vectorized images, that is preferred because vector drawing just allows you to scale that image up or down without losing any quality due to resolution. Unfortunately, Procreate does not have that feature. Hopefully, maybe in the future, but we will not be looking into vectorized images for this video. From here, I usually check the color profile. This is important because digital devices and computer screens require a different profile than you need for printing purposes. Generally, RGB, or red, green, blue, is best for digital media, while CMYK, or cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, is best for print media. Procreate offers a lot of different profiles, but for printing stickers, I usually stick with the generic CMYK profile. There are specific profiles depending on what paper type you plan to print on, but I find the generic profile to be pretty accurate without needing a specific paper type. Now that you have your canvas set up, you can start sketching or finalizing your drawing. It doesn't really matter what brush type you use. I tend to enjoy a more organic and textured line than something really clean, but because of how we set up the canvas, those details will show clearly either way, no matter what you choose. Something I do want to keep in mind for my drawings is how far apart each drawing is from the other one. You do kind of have to account for the potential size that you want your stickers to be on the final sheet and how that's going to affect the spacing between those stickers. Cut lines might overlap if you push them too close together or make them too large to fit properly within that space. And I find it easier to just address that preemptively rather than have them all drawn and finished and then have to adjust it afterwards. With the website that I order my sticker sheets through, they have an interface that really makes it easy to adjust those things, and you add the images separately, so it isn't as stressful as some other manufacturing options, but we'll get to that part later in this video. Once you have your drawings set up the way that you want them on the final sheet, this is where the tutorial kind of gets a little tedious. I am sure there's a better way to do all of this, but have I found it? No. Again, this is not a professional tutorial here. This is just what works for me. From this canvas, I go and create a separate canvas that is approximately the size of the largest sticker on my sheet. Like I mentioned before, the website that I use has you upload the individual stickers and the background all separately, so I have to make separate files for each one. From here, I go back to the sticker sheet canvas, select and copy all the stickers that I need, and transfer them over to the new canvas, which, by the way, should still have all of the same settings as the original canvas you make. This will prevent quality and color differences when you're transferring over. It is kind of an annoying process to go through each individual sticker and crop the canvas and save each file, but I like having the option to move things around on that website before ordering. And when you're saving these files, you want to keep in mind that the files you're making for the individual stickers on that sheet, you want it to have a transparent background. So they have to be saved as either a PNG file or a TIFF file or TIFF. The only concern with the PNG file is it will convert your color profile back to RGB. So there will be a color change if you choose to use PNG files. The website that I use accepts TIFF files, so that is what I choose to work with to maintain the color profile that I need for printing quality purposes. Procreate also likes to do something weird when you're saving the images. For some reason, whenever I try and save on my iPad a file that has a transparent background, it will sometimes switch it to a non-transparent background, and I'm not entirely sure why Procreate does that, but the only thing that I've seen that remedies that or prevents that from happening is saving it directly to my files rather than saving it to my photos. And then from here, it's just a matter of setting up your order. I have been using Stickerapp for my sticker sheets recently, and I've used them in the past for single stickers as well, but previously I have used Vinyl Disorder for sticker sheets. I think that both companies are really great to work with. I find the online format of Stickerapp much easier to use though, and it is a little bit more of an affordable option compared to Vinyl Disorder. It's a fairly straightforward process from this point on. You'll want to decide what type of sticker paper you want, and you have options on whether you want glossy or matte, and they have something called cracked ice, but that one is usually out of stock, so I usually stick to matte options for mine. You can do custom sizing and quantities, and that will affect the price, but it also auto adjusts when you're inputting amounts for all of these and sizing and everything. So for this tutorial purpose, I'm just going to show you 20 for now. If you change your mind on the type of finish you want or the amount of stickers, you can still adjust that in the next screen when you're setting up your sticker sheet. And there's also an option for any comments that you might need to give to the production team. So from here, it's pretty straightforward. Like I said, it's honestly a very easy process. You're going to want to put your background on there, which should have been saved as a separate image. And once you have your background all set up, you can start adding your stickers on top of it. They have some resizing options on here. I try to avoid resizing the images too much, and I try and keep them as close as possible to the original sizes that I have them saved as, because that can affect the overall quality of the image itself if you're resizing it too much on here. You'll notice that when you start putting your stickers down, it's going to have two outlines around it. That red one is supposed to represent the actual cut line that's going to be made. That's where the person is going to be peeling that sticker away from the sheet. So you want to keep in mind that that is not overlapping any other cut lines that are on this page. And the blue one is just the bleed lines, so that's kind of the room for error or like room for adjustments if they need to be made. Depending on how detailed your sticker is, the cut lines can be a little bit larger or smaller than what you see on this page, so just keep that in mind. For the most part, it has been very accurate to what I've seen from my own images. Just keep that in mind when you're placing these, to give yourself a little bit of room and allow for there to be potential adjustments. But other than that, you can pretty much just set it up how you want it to look. And now that you have everything set up, it is just time to order. I hope this video was informative enough for you guys, and obviously if you have any questions or if I left anything out, let me know in the comments below. Feel free to leave a like or dislike, tell me how you feel, maybe check out some of my other content or my Patreon if you're interested in some cute stickers. The theme changes every month and you get access to some phone wallpaper downloads too, plus some behind the scenes and early content. As always, thank you for watching and being here. I appreciate every single one of you, and I hope you all have a wonderful time making some stickers of your own.